Manga-Waido.
I'm Kazutoshi Kiryu. My parents owned a small Japanese sweets store. My grandparents founded the place many years ago. I lost my mom when I was a kid, so my dad was the only family I had. He always made me sweets, and they were the most delicious thing in the world. I wanted to be a Japanese sweet chef just like him. My dad had many fans. He was a very popular chef. A few years ago, this big franchise asked him to develop a new menu for their restaurants, but that didn't really work out. It cost more time and money than expected, and they ended up canceling the offer. Around the same time, the equipment at his place was getting old, so he had to get new equipment. These things weren't cheap, so he had to borrow a lot of money from the banks. I was still in high school back then, but I could tell that his business was in trouble. But I still wanted to follow in his footsteps. I want to be a chef just like you! I want to start working here after high school! No, you got to go to college. What? Why? 'Cause I said so. Do as I say. I wanted to work at his place right away, but he made me go to college. After college, I started working at this food manufacturing company. They made Japanese sweets, so it was a great opportunity for me to learn. Then many years later, I was almost 30 years old now. I'm ready. I'm gonna ask my dad again to let me work for him. I had many years of experience under my belt now, so I decided to ask my dad again. But then, a few days later, I got a call from the hospital. My dad got rushed to the emergency room. No. And when I got there, it was too late. A few days later, after his funeral, I was back at the store, thinking about my next move. I gotta keep this place alive. So I quit my job and got to work. First, I went over the books, but then, I found out that he was in a lot of debt, much more than I thought. I went to the local banks to see if there was anything I could do, but there wasn't much to do. I had so many ideas for new products, but with all this debt, there wasn't much I could do. What now? I hit a wall right away. I didn't know what to do. Then one day, this guy showed up at the store. I'm Tatsuya Ichijo. Your father and I were very close, and I'm a huge fan of his work. He gave me his card. He was the owner of a big hotel franchise. I've been doing business with your father for many years now, and our guests love the sweets he makes, so I hope we can keep doing business together. Thank you, sir, but... You're worried about the debt, right? I know about that. Your father told me. Oh, I see. Well, yeah, I don't know what to do. I understand, so, here's a suggestion. He offered to pay off the debt for me, but under two conditions. First, you must faithfully reproduce your father's work. Of course. What's the other condition? You have to marry my daughter. At first, I thought he was kidding, but he was dead serious. So are you in or not? Hold on. Is your daughter okay with this? Yes, she's on board if you are. I spent most of my life working, so I never had time to meet other women, so this felt like a good opportunity for me. And he was willing to pay off my debt, too. I had no reason to say no, so I agreed to meet his daughter. Then a few weeks later, I finally met her.
Hello, I'm Shori Ichijo. Nice to meet you.
I looked at her feet and I noticed something. She had a prosthetic leg. She was wearing a skirt, so it was really easy to tell. She also had a big scar on her left cheek. As you can see, she's got a prosthetic leg. She was in an accident many years ago. Allow me to explain. 10 years ago, We were on our way home from a relative's house. That night, I had a lot to drink, so my wife drove the car for me. But then, we were in an accident. My wife died instantly. Shiori was sitting in the passenger seat, and she made it out alive, but she lost a leg and got this big scar on her left cheek. I was sitting in the back, so I got out with just a few scratches. It's all my fault. All of it. I just want my daughter to be happy. So what do you say? Will you marry her? Sorry if you don't have to make a decision right away. We could talk about it over dinner.
Talk about what? I said I'll marry him, okay? That's what you want, right? And he's gonna benefit from it too, right?
Shiori, come on now. Don't say it like that.
I'm just saying, why would anyone want to marry me? Unless there's something in it for them. Look at me, I'm damaged goods. I feel bad for you.
Don't say that. Why would you think that? I can barely see the scar. And you're the most beautiful person I've ever met.
What? Stop messing around.
I'm serious. And so what if you have a prosthetic leg? I don't care about that.
Oh. Dad, can I talk to him in private?
Sure. I'll be outside then.
Alright, I'll be blunt. You're doing this for money, right?
Yeah. Your father, he said he'll pay off my debt if I marry you.
I knew it.
But on second thought, this is wrong. Let's call it off. After my dad died, I wanted to keep his legacy going, but I was up to my neck in debt and I didn't know what to do, but this isn't right. I'm sorry. And I didn't even think about how you'd feel about all this. I'm truly sorry. I'll talk to your father.
But what about the money? Your dad's store?
It's fine. I can keep his legacy going without the store. I still got his recipes, so I'm sure I'll figure something out.
I see. I can tell that you're really passionate about this.
Yeah, my dad makes the best sweets ever. You should try it sometime.
Hey, I got an idea.
Huh? An idea?
Dad, good news. We decided to get married.
Oh, alright! That's fantastic!
But we need some time.
I want to get my business back on track first, if that's okay with you. I see. Fine by me. So you two are engaged now, right?
Yeah, and about his debt. You'll pay it off, right?
Of course. He's gonna be my son-in-law now, so... Thank you! And so, just like that, we got engaged. After that, Shiori started coming over to the store to help me out with things around the house. Thank you, always.
Of course. I'm your fiancé now. It's the least I can do.
She was so supportive of me. Thanks to her, I was able to focus all my energy on work. I'm almost there, but something's missing.
It tastes really good, but...
Yeah, I know, but maybe it's the way it looks. I don't know.
Ah, I see. It looks pretty normal to me, but...
I don't know what to do.
Hey, why do you like Japanese sweets so much?
Huh? What do you mean?
Just answer my question.
Well, 'cause when I eat it, it makes me feel really happy.
Maybe you should try and enjoy this more.
Enjoy it?
Yeah, I don't know much about making sweets, but maybe you should be enjoying the process. You've been under a lot of pressure, so maybe you've got to relax more.
She did have a point. I was under a lot of pressure to keep my dad's legacy going. I used to love making sweets, but it was starting to stress me out. Maybe you're right. Thanks. I think I got it now! Turns out, she was completely right. After I took her advice, I started making great progress. I even won an award in a sweets making competition. Then the customers started coming back. Things were finally starting to look up for me. Then 2 years later, the store was doing great again. We were back in business. And Shiori played a huge part in it. She started advertising our business on social media, and it worked out great.
I can't go out as much anymore, so I started using social media a couple of years ago.
She really knew her stuff. She knew more about social media than anyone, and she used her knowledge to help me advertise my business. Also, she knew a lot of celebrities. Why? Well...
It was a long time ago, but I always wanted to be in show business. So I enrolled in this high school with an acting program and stuff. I didn't make it, but many of my friends did, so...
Every time I released a new product, she helped me get the word out, and her famous friends helped us out big time too. Customers were lining up outside our door. Business was great! Then one day, I called Shiori's dad to the store. I'd been planning something for years, and I was finally ready. Thank you for coming on such short notice. Sure thing. You've done an amazing job with this place. Well done. Ah, Shiori, you're here too. Yeah, she's here almost every day helping me out. Good to know. So are you guys getting married soon or what? About that, I've got something to give you. Here. A check? For what? The money you lent me 2 years ago. It's all there. But that wasn't a loan. And you're gonna be my son-in-law. I can't take this. About that. I want to call off the marriage. What? 2 years ago, when I first met her, she came up with this idea.
For now, just say yes. Just go with the flow. Let him pay off your debt, get your business back on track, then call off the marriage.
If I use his money to rebuild the business and pay him back, she no longer has to marry me. But that's lying.
So what? He's the one who came up with this ridiculous idea in the first place. And I really appreciate what you said.
Huh?
About what you said about my scar and leg, you said you didn't mind. When you said that, I felt liberated.
From what?
I don't know. From myself, if that makes any sense. I always hated my disability. But I no longer feel that way, thanks to you, so...
So I decided to go with the flow. I appreciate you paying off my debt. But, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. So I can't marry her. Sorry. That wasn't the deal! You lied to me! I didn't mean to, but I'm so sorry.
Hold on, Dad. It was my idea, okay? Don't blame him.
What?
I'm sorry I went behind your back like this, but this isn't right. And you don't have to keep doing this for me. What happened to my leg, it's not your fault, okay?
But I just wanted the best for you, Shiori.
I know that, and I really appreciate that. But if you decide everything for me, I don't know. I want to make my own decisions.
She's right, sir. I know you care about her very much, but she's stronger than you think. And she's brilliant, too. Without her, I would have never been able to rebuild the business like this.
Ketsutashi.
I guess you guys are right. I was wrong.
Dad?
I'm sorry. I should have known better. I was really looking forward to you becoming my son-in-law, but I guess it's okay. But don't be a stranger, okay? Thank you for understanding, sir. But it seems like such a waste. Huh? I think you two would make a great couple.
Dad?
After that, I took her home. Well, it's your last day, so can I walk you to your room?
Sure.
Shiori, thanks for everything. I know it wasn't for real, but still, I'm glad I got to become your fiancé.
Same here.
And thank you for helping me out with the store. I owe you big time.
It was all you, but I'm glad I could be of help. Can I come by the store sometime?
Of course!
Well, I guess we'll be business partners from now on. You okay?
No. Screw that!
Huh?
I want you to be more than that! Shiori! Will you marry me?
What? You sure about this?
Absolutely! I need you in my life! I can't imagine my life without you! What do you say?
I love that.
You mean?
Yes, I'll marry you.
A few years later, I was at a hospital.
It's a beautiful boy.
Yes! 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 Congratulations, son! Shiori! Great job! You did great!
Thank you. He looks just like you, Kazutoshi.
Yeah, he kind of looks like your dad, too. So adorable. I'm the luckiest guy in the world. Thank you so much, you two. Of course. And so, we became a real family. It was a rough couple of years, but glad everything worked out.